This is actually not clickbait. I am going to work for Rockstar Games. So, success. What is success? I think success is being able to do whatever you want for the rest of your life. That's my perspective of success. You wake up in the morning, you start your day, and at night you go to bed, and in the meantime, you've done only what you wanted to do for that day. And doing that for the rest of your life. Just hold that thought for a minute. 5 years ago, I started this little channel called Logic Films. It was for me to have a place to put all my creative work and everything I enjoyed making with the Rockstar editor in GTA 5. Got some friends to hop on it as well, and then it was to turn this channel into something big by bringing content to the audience in a consistent way. Shortly after that, I got featured by Rockstar Games for my showcases, the videos I did in GTA, and uploaded to the channel. Got featured on the Newswire, on Facebook and everything. And then in 2016, I actually went to America. I went to New York to meet some of the people that work for Rockstar, which was awesome. We had some beers and we talked about, content creation and the videos we do, and the rest of the team did. And, that was really cool. It definitely changed my look on life and gave me a goal. It made me basically who I am today. Just so you guys know, I wrote everything down on the screen behind the camera. So if you see me look off there, it's because I don't know what to say. And there's a bunch of shit to go through and I have not remembered anything. So just so you know, if I'm looking over there, it's because I'm reading off the screen. This is something I typed in like 2 months. Anyways, after that, life does what it usually does. And it got in the way of creation. It got in the way of Logic Films, as it often does. In order to make a living and to support myself, to keep myself from starving and dying, basically, I had to do other jobs. I was DJing. I worked as a video editor. I did a bunch of other jobs, just so I didn't die. With that in mind, there comes a time in life where you get to a crossroad. One that will force you to do one or two things. The first thing is you either work a regular job, which is fine. You'll live pretty comfortably and you'll have your bills paid in time. And you know for sure that you'll always have a roof over your head as long as you keep working. That's, you can take that route. That's fine. A lot of people do that. That's cool. And the second way is if you are like creatively inclined, your choice is to work on your dream. And the annoying thing with that is that when you work on your dream, you'll have no certainty. You'll probably be broke most of the time, and you have no certainty of whether you'll have a roof over your head the next month. You don't know where your next meal is going to come from. You don't know anything. If you're lucky enough, you'll be able to sell your soul doing what you love for a few bucks, and then at least you can keep your cat and yourself from starving. So I obviously went for the second one. I went the hard route, and that basically meant that Logic Films was only afforded the time it needed when I had the time for it, when I could make time for it. And this was super shit, but it all didn't matter at the end because I was still working on Logic Films, and Logic Films was slowly growing. It kept moving forward. Over the past year, with everything going on with the flu and everyone being locked up and all that stuff, I decided to give 2000% to Logic Films because it could finally get all the attention it needed, and it could get all the time I had to give it for it to grow. And I was ready to sell my soul a few times to feed my cat and feed my girlfriend and not to die, basically. So this was hard, but we didn't die. This was definitely the most difficult time in my life, but with Logic Films, it definitely paid off. We almost tripled the amount of subscribers we have, and that took 4.5 years before. It only took 1 year this time. Anyways, views skyrocketed. A lot of videos got a shit ton of views. Logic Films was seen by millions of people. I made a lot of good friends. I met a lot of awesome people. I'm very proud of what I've done this last year and what my team has been able to do. This year was definitely not an easy one, but we made it. Anyways, the goal was to turn Logic Films into something that would reach my perspective of success, which meant that it had to reach a level where we, me and my team, could do what we love for the rest of our life. That was the goal, which is why it really pains me to say that I will be stepping down from Logic Films. I've put 2000% in the channel this year, and sure, it paid off to some degree, but it's definitely not what I imagined it will be. YouTube is a machine you have to keep feeding, and if you don't, it throws you out. Like, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, doesn't matter how many views you got that month, it'll throw you out. And so whatever you worked for will go to shit, basically, if you don't keep feeding the machine that is YouTube. If you don't keep giving it, if you don't give it creative and good videos all the time, then it will just make you disappear, basically. This is why we pushed very hard to give you 2 videos per week. It was so we could, reach the audience we thought our videos deserved, and also to keep working towards that perspective of success. That was also we could keep doing what we love and, for the rest of our life. YouTube is very hard when you're not making clickbait bullshit. That's just how it is. Making videos when you don't feel like it, constantly having people ask you questions, you have zero peace. It never sleeps. Everyone always wants a piece of the cake that you made, the cake that you baked, constantly feeding that machine that is YouTube, constantly thinking of ideas that are out of the scope of what you actually want to do or what you feel like doing, because if the machine doesn't like it, it'll just bury it along with you. And people constantly living off your ideas that you thought of, trying to crack YouTube, people constantly asking you for shortcuts to your success. Also, people never really fully realizing how much work goes into these videos and how much time goes in it and what sacrifices were made for it. There's so much I wanted to show you guys, so much other stuff than showcases or, the typical videos I do, but I couldn't because the machine that's called YouTube would just bury it. And the main goal with videos is always, they're made to be seen. That's what a video is for. That's the purpose of a video. No matter how fun they are to make. So the first thing people would say after that is you're a sellout, which fuck no, fuck you. Remember when I told you that life gives you 2 options? It's not worth it to keep fighting. Not like this. So over the years, I've created more than enough resources to get plenty of views, plenty of subscribers, and I almost just tripled them. That's what I could do with 2000%. It still wasn't enough to make it. It was good enough to get by, barely, but just enough not to starve and die. But it required 2000%, which is what I've done in the last year. Nobody should do. If you're thinking of doing what I did in the past year, don't. Just drop it, because it's not worth it to just get by. You'll be eating glass, you'll be staring into the abyss 24/7. It's just not worth it. It's not worth that amount of fighting. So, that's what I've learned on my time here, and I love to be proven wrong, but I think over the past almost 6 years, I've gained enough knowledge about everything to sort of come up with that conclusion. So why do I encourage people to give up on YouTube when I've been pushing everyone to be creative for so long? It's because you should be doing YouTube because you love creating videos. That's it. You enjoy it, you enjoy creating stuff, you love showing it to the world, you love seeing the progress in the work you do, you enjoy learning new things so you can make better videos or whatever, and you enjoy pressing upload, you enjoy creating first, and then there's no ulterior motive. Like, that's it. That's why you should be in YouTube. If you do it with that mindset, and you have something else going for you that keeps you from starving and dying, then I would say go for it. Definitely just floor it and, go all out for it. But if you don't, then just remember what I told you earlier. This might all be very hard and difficult and heavy to hear, but most of you still live at your parents, so you don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about bills or, other important stuff. So I'm sorry for that, but this is the real shit. This is the stuff they don't teach you at school. This is just how it is. One of the main reasons why I don't do these talking videos is because I'm shit at talking. I hate looking in the camera, and my eyes dry out. So we come to Rockstar. Rockstar Games has changed my life since I was a kid. Probably since, I should not have been playing their games at all, since I was way too young. They're the only company who I've never had any doubts in of them disappointing me with their work. I respect where they've come from, I respect where they are now, and I respect where they're going. And now I get to do what I love, reach my, perspective of success with them, which is, awesome. And I get to do it without any of the glass chewing or staring into the abyss that YouTube 24/7 requires of me. I get to do what I love at a place I love and take my, my love for creating cinematics and stuff to a whole new level. I'm also excited to be working with more people who have the same sort of mindset and people I can learn from. And this has always been a life goal of mine, and I finally fucking achieved it. So what will happen to Logic Films? I've been doing all the stuff behind the scenes, the Instagram, the posts, the descriptions, all that stuff, doing all the research. You might be wondering what's going to happen now. Things will undoubtedly change a bit here and there, but you shouldn't really notice that much. My team will carry on the torch, and I have full faith in them, of them doing that, perfectly fine. They will be taking over all the behind the scenes work for Logic Films, along with continuing to bring you awesome cinematics and videos and other stuff, whereas my work will transfer over to GTA, in-game stuff, or Red Dead Redemption, or other titles I'll be working on. Logic Films will never go away. Logic Films will not stop. It will keep going. With that said, this will not be my last video on the channel. It might be one of the last, but this thing with Rockstar has been going for a few months. I knew that as soon as that ball started rolling, I would have to say goodbye to Logic Films. You might have noticed that over the past few months, I've been pushing out videos like crazy, a lot of different stuff than what I've been doing over the past years. And this is all because it has all led up to this. I knew that as I take on my role as cinematic artist at Rockstar Games, I would have to step down from Logic Films. So I've literally just been pushing out whatever I can, while I still can. And, that kind of explained the last few months. This video is dragging on for way too long. Anyways, with all of that said and out of the way, I want to thank you for 5, almost 6 amazing years. This truly life-changing experience called Logic Films, and everything on YouTube and everything beyond that, PlayStation, all that stuff. It would not have been anything. It would have not meant anything without you, of course. So I want to thank you for all the support, all the comments, even the dislikes. Everything has led up to this and made this possible for me. And I could say I thank you, but that doesn't even describe how thankful I am for the community that is now Logic Films, and what has made this possible for me. If I had a chance to go back to when I started Logic Films, I would have done everything the exact same way as I did it, even the bad decisions. I probably would not have changed anything. For the first time in my life, I'm actually satisfied. Normally, I'm never satisfied, but I'm satisfied with what I leave behind now. For the first time in my life, I'm actually proud. I'm actually proud of what I leave behind, my sort of legacy, or whatever you want to call it. I'm happy with what I've put up. I'm happy where the channel is. The channel is doing better than ever. It has never done better than it's doing today, and I've you guys to thank for that. and you know, definitely my awesome team as well, my girlfriend as well. Even for my team, the channel has given me the opportunity to even open doors, you know, in the gaming industry, which is huge. That's like, it's crazy. Anyways, you know, keep supporting the team, keep supporting Logic Films. My whole team, you know, they've all had their own struggles and sacrifices they had to make to just keep on creating content, and they deserve all the respect and, you know, support in the world. They're awesome. They're doing an amazing job. I'm, you know, glad, I'm happy to leave my child, Logic Films, with them in their hands. They will create videos how and when they want, and you know, I've no doubts that they'll blow you away with everything they do. I just realized it got really dark outside. Anyways, this video has been taking too much of your time, and I know how valuable time is, so I'll end it here. This will not be my final goodbye. Probably have 1 or 2 more videos coming up, but this is the end of this video. So once again, you know, I think it's very cheesy when YouTubers say this, and most of the time they don't mean the shit, but I definitely do. You know, thank you for everything. In 2 weeks, I'll be moving from Switzerland, which is here, to Scotland. Thank you for all your support, and you know, thank you for everyone who will continue to support Logic Films. And you know, all the creators, all the people watching this, I wish you nothing but the best, and you know, keep working, keep being creative, never stop that shit. I wrote down that this is the point where I take my Logic Films jacket off, and I just realized that I have not had that fucking jacket on for the whole video. 1 second. Okay, just pretend that I had this Logic Films jacket on for the whole video. The only thing that's left for me to do is this has been it for me. I'm Jean-Paul, aka DJ Jean-P from Logic Films. Ciao, ciao.